human dignity shall be inviolable. Every human being shall have the right to life and human dignity. Embryonic and fetal life shall be subject to protection from the moment of conception. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, mesdames, messieurs, these are the words of the Hungarian Constitution. Thank you very much for the invitation. I am very proud to be here representing the Hungarian government. A government thanks to which we have accepted this constitution in 2011. And if somebody doesn't know the political situation in Hungary, for those, let me briefly say that in 2010, the government of Viktor Orbán has won the parliamentary elections by a 2/3 majority. And then we also accepted this constitution, and then in 2014 we won the elections again by a 2/3 majority. So now we are after 5 years of governance, and I hope that support that we got from the Hungarian people, that also shows that we share the same values, Hungarian people and the government. And this is the core of what I would like to say today, that I think that it is important to take governmental decisions along values, because nowadays many think that neutrality is the right choice, that we shouldn't speak up for certain values, that we, for example, shouldn't be proud of our Christian roots. I don't agree with them. We have to rediscover the values our communities are based upon and speak up for those. We are responsible here on the earth for, we as Hungarian government, for and to the Hungarian people and our own conscience. I think civic organizations, civic initiatives are very important. And there are some small and very loud NGOs representing a small group of people, and they have their voices heard very often and very loud. And there are some others that represent millions of people, millions of families, and maybe they are less loud because they think that evidences don't need to be articulated. I think this is not the case. Evidences should also be underlined, now maybe even more than ever before. Evidences like family is the substance of our life and the substance of our nation. And here let me add that by the introduction, we always say that I am a Minister of State responsible for families and young people, but I am also a mother. I am also a mother of 3 children. I am more proud of being a mother than being a minister. So evidences should also be articulated more than ever before. Evidences like family is the substance of our life and the substance of our nation. Evidences like every child, every birth is a gift. Every child is a source of joy. Evidences like human life and human dignity are always to be protected. And this is why the Hungarian government, Hungarian NGOs, politicians, doctors, private persons, and some media and social media actors supported the One of Us appeal in 2012. In Hungary, we collected almost 43,000 signatures instead of the officially required 1,600. Thank you very much for your work. And we are not only following, but we are also taking active part in the international debates. Hungary has also joined several international agreements, from the Universal Declaration on Human Rights to CEDAW, the Beijing Platform of Action, and so on. And we consider these international agreements, action programs, agreed conclusions, or declarations as the basis of our international work without any dilution or reinterpretation. And we will keep representing the same values on the international as well, in Brussels, in New York, and in Budapest. And without going to details on the different topics to be discussed today, let me just underline two elements. What is the solution, if there is a solution? I think that there are two key elements. The first one is strengthening families, and the second one is education. And that is what the Hungarian government also focuses on. We are strengthening families, we are strengthening family relationships. We don't consider Hungarian people as only a group of individuals, but as parts of a community, of a smaller community, which is the family, and a bigger community as the Hungarian nation. But instead of individualism, it is the community thinking that we consider for important. We support financially families, Hungarian families, more than ever before. We made several decisions in favor of families, and I'm very proud of being a Minister of State responsible for families in Hungary. And from the state's point of view, or from the state point, we would never be able, and we don't even want to replace families. We can't replace mothers and fathers. We can't take the duties of mothers and fathers. What we should do is to make it possible for mothers and fathers to focus on the raising of their children. And the other point is education. We have to start very early, at the early childhood. We have to talk about values, we have to talk about men and women relationships for the little children also. And not only about mathematics, not only about science, it is also very, very important, that is important, but it's also important to talk about these issues which are the key element of our life. So this is why we implemented in school curricula the education for ethics in Hungary, the education of family life, and the respect of human dignity, the functioning of relations between women and men, and also health promotion. I think this is the first step we should make, that we should talk about these issues with our own children, and in education we also have to teach them. And let me just finally give you some results from the past from Hungary. Maybe it shows that we are on the right path. Look at the number of marriages and the number of divorces. All over the world, not all over the world, but in Europe, in most of the countries in Europe, the number of marriages is decreasing and the number of divorces is increasing. In fact, in Hungary, it's not the case. In the last 5 years, the number of marriages has increased by 30% in Hungary, and the number of divorces has in the meantime decreased. And I must be a little bit politician at that point, because I have to tell you that there was a period in Hungary between 2002 and between 2010 when the current opposition was the governing party. And at that time, the number of marriages has decreased by 23%. And from that point that we are on governance, the number of marriages has increased by 30%. I don't know if there is any relation between these numbers and dates, but let's think about that. And also the number of abortions. If we look at the number of abortions in Hungary in 2000 and the number of abortions in 2015, the number in 2015 is the half of that one in 2000. So it dropped by 50% in Hungary in 50 years. And here at the end, let me be personal. If we are talking about abortion, I won't tell you the laws and the regulations in Hungary. I will just try to answer one very simple question, which was also asked by someone yesterday. Then why should I think that we should protect life? And this is a hard question. I mean, I would ask the opposite, why shouldn't we? How could anybody think that we shouldn't? And then I also think of my God's child, my goddaughter. I have my best friend, with whom we've been friends for now decades, and they can't have a child, my friend and her husband. And they tried for 10 years and they didn't succeed. And then they adopted a little girl. They adopted Sarah, who is now 2 years old, and she's my goddaughter. And you know, I keep thinking when I look at her and I am with her, I just keep thinking that what if her mother, I mean her original mother, had taken another decision? What if she hadn't kept and she hadn't given birth to Sarah? Then we wouldn't have her with us. And then I think that it's so evident that life needs protection from us, from you, and from the organizers. So thank you very much for the organization. And if I might ask my colleague, I just brought a small present to Jaime Mayor Oreja, because in Hungary, we are also, besides the laws and regulations, we also think that the family-friendly thinking is very important. And we also designed a logo which shows that we are a family-friendly country. And we had a T-shirt made extra for Jaime, which is in English, because otherwise we use it in Hungarian, and which says that family-friendly country is important. So Jaime, please let me give it to you.